Previously on Unranked.
It's definitely the closest thing I could compare to, other than like the Ricky Gervais shorts of Carl as a kid on the estate. Like, it is definitely an exact combination of those two things is what this game is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you play Untitled Goose Game?
Yes.
Oh, you did.
Are you guys
I didn't
fucking
think you
kidding me?
did.
I love that game.
It's
Oh,
from
well,
the
then you will
same.
like this a lot.
I
from
did
the
everything
same
you
team.
could. I did everything you could in that game.
It's from the same team.
If I don't grow this, if I shave this, there's like not that much hair growing in the old chinny chin. So
Almost kind of like Wolverine. You could get like mutton chops.
what is
You could
what
get
is
some
happening?
really good
What
mutton
is
chops.
happening?
What?
What is happening? What is
Kate's
happening?
here. Kate's here. His video is off. We had some.
Oh.
He's on his phone.
You can hear my voice, and they're like, "Who is this?"
Well, I heard twice now. I heard like a little laugh injected, and I was like, and I thought
Amazing.
that Chris was using his soundboard to like
shouldn't have
inject a
said
laugh.
anything. We shouldn't have said anything. Not
Yeah, the
acknowledge
whole time.
the show. I'll just chime in with random little comments, but nobody else acknowledge it.
Hello and welcome to the 440th episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Humes here. We have Alex, Tuna, Marinello.
Hello, and no one else.
Again, no. You know what I realized I should have done? I should have clipped his laugh and then added it to the soundboard so that I could inject.
It's also very funny to watch yourself react in that way, because like obviously I never see myself the way I react, but like the way that my eyes go and the way that like my eyebrow goes, my head, the whole thing was just like, oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So good times.
I had a very different plan for this week's previously on.
Okay.
And it would have been great, but it did not work because I needed a clip that I could not find. So
Do you want to tell me what it is, or do you want to wait to see
yeah.
what
No,
it
I
is?
will. In fact, and I'm going to share the thing that I was going to put in the clip. I'll send it to the computer while I do this. Because
Okay.
so there was an episode at some point in the last few months where we were talking about like box offices and Furiosa
Mhm.
and how like the first Mad Max didn't like do great at the box because it's just not, it's rated R. It doesn't like, it's not super mass appeal, even though it's like really well regarded movie.
Mhm.
And the Borderlands trailer had just come out, and the trailer made it look like the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It was like the teaser. It might not have even been the full trailer. And we were like, wow, maybe this will actually be good. And I said to Tom, I was like, you know what I think might happen? I was like, and this is nuts. I was like, this movie might perform better than Mad Max just because of the fact that it's like PG-13 and it's like fun and it's for families versus.
Sure.
And so I was going to play that clip.
Because you're going to be talking about Borderlands today.
Right, exactly. But I could not, I looked through, I think like 20 episodes and I could not find it. And so now I'm thinking that actually it might have been during a post show.
Okay, maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember. I definitely remember talking about the Furious whatever.
Furiosa.
Yeah, I definitely remember
Say
talking
it.
about that. But why do I remember talking about that?
Yeah, I looked at, so it might have been like way farther back than I thought, because I looked at basically like the month and a half preceding the movie coming out and then up until like the first week of July. And I could not find it. So it makes me think that it was during a post show, maybe with only Tom. And so I tried to look through those, but when I try and find a clip now that's not like from the previous week, I use the Apple Podcast app because they live transcript every episode now and you can just search. So it's like so much easier for me to just find that thing. And I looked, I couldn't find it. So that makes me think it's a post show.
You couldn't even find a reference to Borderlands.
I could find one, but it was not in regards to the movie. It was in regards to the game.
Wow.
So that makes me think it's only in the post show because it wouldn't, if it's not included in the trailer. So it was a bummer because I went and saw that fucking movie, partially because I thought it would make for a good intro.
You went to go see a movie only for the 1 minute
Well, I went to go see the
intro.
movie for the joke of seeing the movie because I knew it was going to be a bad movie. You know?
Do you still hold that belief, or did you see it and say to yourself, "What are all these people talking about? It's amazing."
No, it's one of the worst things I've ever watched.
It's one of the worst things.
It's one of the
you've
worst
ever
movies I've ever
watched.
watched. So this is what I was gonna play.
That's
I was
amazing.
gonna play like the beginning of the clip, right? And then I was gonna
Mhm.
and then I took a picture of myself at the movies yesterday in front of the Borderlands like
Oh, so like there's like
poster.
time and effort, a little time and effort.
Oh
went
yeah.
into this.
So I was disappointed when I couldn't find the clip like
Mm.
last night, and then I looked again today and I still couldn't find the clip. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna cut something from last week instead. But so this is what I did. I took a time lapse of me watching
Oh
the
my
Borderlands
God.
movie to see how I actually reacted, and look how bored I am. Oh, this isn't even the good one. There's a better one that I took face on. I used the second phone, like an old phone,
Did you
and I
go by
put it in the.
yourself?
Yeah, I was not gonna make Therese go see that movie.
Well,
You
I don't
kidding me?
know. How is the phone propped up? What's the situation? What does it look like?
So, all right. So here's a fucked up thing I do is whenever I go to the movies without Therese, I always use her A-list account anyway and book the seat next to me so that I can have a free open seat next to me.
Sure. What's wrong with that?
Well, just 'cause I'm taking up a good seat.
Eh,
And then right before the movie starts, I just cancel her ticket.
amazing.
So I had the open seat next to me, so I put one on the open seat next to me on my side and then one in the cup holder. And I did two because of the fact that
You
like
did two?
well, no, well, because I can't see the phone, right? I wasn't gonna have the screen on, so I couldn't see whether or not the phone could even see me. So I was like, oh, I don't
Oh,
like,
okay.
for instance, like when I showed you that clip, it was completely out of focus because of the fact that like, I couldn't actually see it.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I mean, I was completely bored. Like in the other view, it is much more apparent. I mean, honestly, we'll just get this out of the way before we get to the Pokemon. Let's just talk about the Borderlands movie.
Okay.
What do you think this movie was, if you would have guessed?
So, okay. So without, I mean, I kind of said this before. I don't know if I said this on the podcast or if I said it while we were playing games, but when I heard that a Borderlands movie was coming out, sorry, yawning over here, crazy. Okay.
Yeah, that was me
I
during the
heard,
movie.
yeah. When I heard that a Borderlands movie was coming out and that it featured Lilith, right, which means in my mind it featured like the original four, okay, I was like, okay. Now, if I were making a Borderlands movie, I would have the original four going after a vault, meeting a scrappy bunch of characters along the way. The villain would be Handsome Jack, okay, and he would be incorporated in some way as the villain. And you would end with them getting into the vault, but finding out there's an even bigger universal multiverse, whatever the hell vault, and Handsome Jack living to fight another day. Maybe we see the scar happen on his face, and that's why he has the mask afterwards. That would set you up for part two.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Absolutely.
thought this movie was going to be about. But from what I understand, Handsome Jack's not even fucking in it. So
Nope. Which is fine. Like the idea of
Mhm.
making like Atlas and like because of the other Borderlands, like that's fine. It didn't have to be Handsome Jack. But
No, but
man,
I just think Handsome Jack is a charismatic character.
is it? Yeah, absolutely,
So you'd put
100%.
him in. You'd put him in there.
You also don't make fucking Tiny Tina a lead character because
Hmm.
that character's so obnoxious, and it was so fucking obnoxious in this movie. And you know who you also don't make one of the main characters? Krieg. You don't make Krieg
Hmm.
the psycho. And then if you're gonna do Krieg, you know who you do? You have to make him like Drax, and they don't make him like he's just this annoying character that is not interesting or fun or funny. Lilith is like, I think they thought they were doing Han Solo, where like she's just like pointing out how ridiculous things are and like she doesn't want to be a part of anything and she's not a hero character, which is like, that is not what the Siren should fucking be. She doesn't know she's like, I mean, spoilers off, sorry for this movie, but like I'm saving you. I'm not spoiling you right now. I'm saving you from seeing this movie. Um it's Madam Web is a really, really, really bad movie, but it was so entertaining by how soap opera it was and how poor the acting and the writing was that like I was laughing. This was so bad, but it was also boring. So
So
like
yeah,
I
okay.
wasn't even like laughing at it being bad. I
So
was
is
just
it
like, why?
is it about them trying to find a vault, or is that not even part of it?
No, it's about them trying, yes, but only consequentially. Like Lilith doesn't have any, she's like, I'm not a fucking vault hunter. Like, she doesn't want to be a vault, like the whole time. And it's like, I'm sorry, you're making the lead of your movie someone that doesn't want to be there.
That's
Like,
really funny.
what a stupid, stupid idea.
Well, I'm
Um,
surprised that the people who were in this movie were in this movie, depending on because considering how bad it is. Like, no one read this and was like, "This is shit." Like,
well, so here's the
who?
interesting thing.
What
It was
happened here?
it originally had a different writer.
Mm.
Had the guy who wrote Chernobyl originally. And
Oh,
then it went to Eli Roth, who's going to direct it. And then it got a lot of script changes to the point
Mhm.
where the original writer was like, take my name off of this.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow. So why did that? Why? So then why? Why? I feel like this could have been such a simple, fun movie.
Dungeons and Dragons. The Dungeons and Dragons movie was
Yeah.
great. That was a great
Yeah.
movie. You take that, you just put the Borderlands paint on it, and you have another fucking slam dunk family
Yeah.
movie that
Yeah.
like it doesn't even matter if you know what the video games are. And this
Mhm.
did also all of the bad video game tropes where like you get the video game scenes in the movie and stuff. And there were so many parts too where visually I was like, this is just Borderlands. Like the sounds and the visuals are right, but I don't
Mhm.
like anything that I'm watching. I don't like the way the characters are portrayed. I don't like the way they're acted. I don't like the way anyone's written. I don't like the story.
Hmm.
The villain was really bad and cheesy. Um,
Mm. I mean, it
it
has a
was it
zero.
was
Does it
it
still
was
have a
bad.
0?
No, it got one positive. Like yesterday, I think it was up to a 4. It
Oh
might be
wow.
back up now, or maybe it's
It's
down.
not, apparently it's out of 5.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
That's how many reviews?
I don't know. It just says Rotten Tomatoes 5%.
Oh, okay. I mean, here's the thing,
73.
man. That's a lot of the times those scores are kind of meaningless, but when there's a movie that's like,
Mm.
above 90%, it's like,
Mhm.
you know what? Even if this movie's not for you, it's probably unquestionably a really good movie for
Mhm.
at least for what it's doing. And I think if you're below 25%, it's probably unquestionably a very bad movie. All right, so this
This
is
is I can't
look
believe
at
it.
this. Hands crossed.
You look like you don't even want to be there anymore. What are
I
you
did,
eating, by the way?
Alex, some popcorn.
What's amazing, actually, what I'm more amazed, like the recline, the board. What's more amazing to me is that you're able to keep your popcorn going for most of the. Actually, no, like your face at the end.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. Yeah, there were several times where I'm just like laying back. Look at this.
That's terrible.
I'm like sighing. There
Did
were a few
nothing
times I started yawning.
did nothing interesting happen at all?
No, and you know what? Some of the parts that should have been good were the
Mhm.
parts that had the worst CG. Like visually, there were a lot of times where it looked great, but then
Mhm.
there were a lot of times where it looked really poor. Which then like made even the action not good.
Right.
It's it's a really, really bad movie that
Mm.
people shouldn't go see in theaters. If you want to watch this
Wow.
out of morbid curiosity, unless you have something like AMC A-list where you're not paying for that ticket outright,
Mhm.
really just don't. It's not. I thought going into this, Alex, that like, well,
Mhm.
maybe it will be funny like Madam Web was funny because it was
Right.
bad, and it
Right.
was not even a little bit.
Jeez.
So
Well, I guess, say la vie. What a waste. They'll never make another one. So.
God no. All right, let's move on to today's Pokemon. Alex, it is the 440th Pokemon. Can you tell me who's that Pokemon?
Happiny. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we got
It's
another
a-
pre-evolution.
And it's a baby.
Yeah.
Is it one of the first baby Pokemons? Pokemons?
No, I think we got a baby Pokemon in Gen 2.
Oh, really?
I think we
All
got
right.
Pichu in the second generation.
Oh, that's right. Of course.
Yeah.
So Happiny debuted in One Big Happiny Family, where she hatched from Brock's egg.
Nice.
Yeah. Unusually, in contrast to Happiny's extremely low attack stats in the games, she has amazing strength and can run with Pummel and can carry many heavy items and Pokemon for her size. In Brockster is in, she evolved into a Chansey.
All right.
Anyway, the
Let's
trivia
get
is
the
not
name
bad.
etymology.
Um,
This is a pre-evolution for Chansey, just so we
yeah,
didn't say what the Pokemon was.
yeah. So it's tied with Chansey for the lowest base attack and defense stats of all Pokemon, all of them.
Jesus.
Mhm. And it's the only Pokemon that evolves twice by leveling up under certain conditions, once by holding an item and again with high friendship. The name origin, Happiny, may be a combination of happiness and tiny or teeny. It may also involve happenstance.
Okay.
There
I
you go.
don't really think it does.
It says may, so you can.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I don't
you can
think.
You can shut that down.
Just its design really quick. It's a small Pokemon. It's kind of shaped like an egg. It looks like
Mhm.
it's like half in an egg, kind of like Togepi.
Or a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, it's light pink. It's got
Mm.
these little like curly tufts on its head that and then it has one big curl, almost like Squirtle's tail coming out the very top.
Mhm. It looks like
Very
a
much
piece
what
of
you might
looks
expect.
like a piece of candy you might eat. Like one of the
A little
bad
bit.
candies. One of the bad candies you get on Halloween. That's like no one
Yeah, a
really
little
wants.
bit.
It's like chewy, like gummy and chewy with no flavor. That's what this looks like.
It definitely does evoke the like hard-boiled egg that like they only broke the top off of,
Mhm.
and then the bottom
Yep.
of the egg is still there, or it's in the little egg cup, which makes sense
Sure.
because the Chansey, has the egg that it holds. Same with Blissey, its evolution. This is a Pokemon that I believe I do not understand why it is not a fairy type.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that
I
makes
think that's
sense.
strange.
Yeah.
I know why it wasn't, but I don't know why it wasn't retroactively turned into one.
Mm.
In Legends Arceus, they say, in imitation of Chansey, it keeps a round stone tucked into its belly pouch and cherishes it dearly. It gets
Ooh,
along well with children and will sometimes play house with them for fun.
beautiful.
All right,
Okay, yeah,
let's
great.
put it on the list.
Oh, right, the list.
So you missed last week. Pokemon
Mhm.
made its way up onto the list.
Mhm.
Mime Jr. found itself at 37 last week, just
Oh,
above
okay.
Burmy.
Yeah, I think this one goes even lower.
Okay.
I'm willing to put it in the Cricketune, Cricketot, Starly area.
I would put it below Starly.
Wow. Okay. That's fine with me. Or
Just
maybe
because,
in
like,
the
if we're going to compare base level evolutions, like Starly, even though it's just a bird, at least I think it's, like, cooler
Mhm.
looking.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it, right
Yeah,
above
that's fine.
Bidoof.
I would put it maybe below Bidoof.
Below Bidoof.
So that it's
Yeah.
in the Bidoo
Better than
family.
Bidoo.
Yeah.
All right. There
That's
we
where I'll
go.
put it. That's where it is.
Happiny.
Happiny. There it is. So what's been going on? Besides Borderlands? Well, I can tell you that Chris and I have been playing a lot of Nintendo World Champions chips.
Yes.
And I'm sure Tom is sick of us already because we have been sending pictures of our best times for each weekly World Championship, which makes it so much, I think, more fun and
Yeah.
also more frustrating to play because I'd probably do these challenges a couple times and then I'd probably put it down and be like, okay, that's good enough for me. I'm good. Like that's a pretty fast time. I got an S rank, so I'm good. But then I do a time and I send it over to Chris and Co. Tom could do this if he wants to, but he doesn't. And then I get a text back. I get a text back a couple minutes later, maybe a half hour later, maybe an hour later. That's like, suck it. Look at the time. I just beat your time. And then you're like, fuck. Like, okay, now I got to try again. And then you try it again and you beat their time, right? You send it back out, And depending, right, either Chris already has beaten that time and he sends me a quick message right back being like, I already beat you, or try harder. Or he goes back into Nintendo, tries it 1 or 2 times and beats the records. You're like, fuck, okay, fine. So you're back to playing. And it's been good. I mean, it's been, like I say, fun and frustrating. Keeps me playing longer. But when I get a text, like sometimes I'll send it out, right? My time on a certain challenge. And then I see Chris's name pop up on my phone. And I'm like, oh. Because like I was already resigned to like not playing anymore tonight. Like I was like, he's not going to beat this for a little bit. And then sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it isn't a time. Sometimes it's just a TikTok video. But when I just see the name pop up, I'm just like, oh,
fuck, here we
get
go.
anxiety. You're just like, oh fuck. Like I don't want to have to play this again. Like I thought I hit the limit.
I think what's really good too right now is the game has like 120 of these challenges, but instead of us just like doing it with all of them, every week Nintendo picks 5 and you're going and you have a week to get the best time and you're going to play against everyone in the world and then it's going to tell you where you placed in the world. So we're just doing the weekly ones. So it definitely like Monday through Wednesday, because it resets on Mondays, is like it's coming in back and forth all day long. And then yesterday there was only one new update. And then I bet like today, like, because we're at the point now where we are tied on one and the world's fastest time we're tied with. So we're both like, all right, so there's only 4 left. And now you have 2 of the fastest times and I have 2 of the fastest times. So like
And
right now we're deadlocked.
So the 2 that you have are Metroid and Icarus on this week's world challenges. And I tried them. Chris has in the Metroid one that is right now, it's missile, power grab, missile. And Chris has a 13.11. I have a 13.13. So I am 0.02 seconds off of Chris. And I have tried this challenge to get to 13.11. It's just not happening. And the record, as far as we're aware, the highest record so far is a 13.08.
Yep.
So for me to like tie you is one thing. To beat you is like not a lot of, you got to be probably frame fucking perfect. And I tried it last night. I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm like, I'm done. Well, you know what? I'm okay with this. Like, I'm fine.
That's where I'm at with Zelda, because I might try Zelda again, but Zelda, I have 5.71 seconds and you have 5.70 seconds.
Yeah.
And I believe the fastest time is 5.65. So you are 5/100ths of a second away from it. And I'm 6, that might be the exact same situation. So I may not attempt Zelda again, but the one that I'm going to come at you on is Mario. I'm definitely because there's still like half a second away from the top time, so there's room 100%. To improve.
There's even when I was doing it, I was like, I fucked up here, and I could have.
I always make one mistake. I always make one mistake.
Yeah, and the worst part about the Mario one that we're playing is that it's around a 35 second challenge. Yep. So like, you could be 20 seconds in and you fuck up, and you're like, oh my god, I gotta do this again. And then the other one, Icarus, you have to be like, and I'm playing handheld, and maybe I could go to a controller, but like I'm only 0.05 off you, and like my hand is cramping, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this challenge. Like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. Like I have a great time. Yeah. I would consider it a great time if you weren't in the picture. It's like, so, but it's more
fun though if we are able to go back and forth. because
it's
I
way more
wouldn't.
fun.
I never would have pushed myself to get times like this or learn how to do
No,
some of these things.
Yeah, same. And the whole thing, the funny thing is like Tom, because we are just texting pictures back and forth
Yeah.
in the group for this podcast. And Tom is like, there isn't a better way you two could do this. And it's, you know what? No, Tom, like get involved. Okay. I'm like waiting for the time when we send each other an image of the 5 challenges and like he just hits us with like, you know, a record on each.
I mean, he
But-
could also start in the first 3 days before we get to those like really low times.
Mhm.
There's a lot of opportunity for him to play in.
No,
you
that
know?
actually, that's what I really like a lot, and I think we should keep doing that for the next week. Is you do your prelim. You do like
yeah,
this is my
I just
prelim.
do my straight attempt.
Here's the
I do
prelim.
my straight attempt,
Yep,
and I send that
straight
because
up.
I don't want to start. I don't want to send you a really hard time that then I'm going to have to like try and beat once you beat it right away. I'd like
Right.
there to be like a gradual.
I
kinda
love the
growth.
gradual
Yeah.
shavings of the
Yes.
times.
Yes.
I mean the easier ones, like the 3-second ones, are ones that are like, you know, we got down to the Mario record pretty quick. Like that was settled. We were like, okay,
Yeah.
we both tied it. We're done. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's been
Good
really
times.
fun. It's been so Epic Neckbeard asked in the Discord the other day if I think this is a good game for kids. And I thought so I suggested
Okay.
like depending on the age of the kids, like it probably is. I'm just curious what you think, just because it's
Yeah. So I have
there's
a
no
2-year-old.
leaderboards, right? So it's
No,
not like
there's
they're
no
gonna have to play
leaderboard.
against.
No, they're not going to know. They're going to see their time, and getting an A for a kid is probably like, oh wow, that was really good. I will tell you, my 2-year-old likes to play the Excite
I mean,
Bike.
she's almost 3, right?
Yeah, but she's still 2. What do you want me to say?
Okay.
3? She's not. I'm going to lie if I say 3.
Sure.
But there is a big difference between starting 2 and ending 2.
Yeah,
So
right,
my
exactly.
Almost fine. My almost 3-year-old. Okay.
I feel like
my
you can
almost-
round up when you're less than a month away from 3.
My almost 3-year-old. She likes the Excite Bike challenges, and not in the sense that she understands what a challenge is,
Sure.
but just that she likes to hold the button down
Yeah.
and watch the bike go.
Yep.
So that to her is great, and
That's
she's
awesome.
actually starting to like go up and
Move
down,
with the
like,
other hand. Yeah.
move with the other hand. But it's interesting to watch her brain try to figure that out. Like,
Yeah.
oh wait, I can push this button. But then she took her left hand and started pushing the button. I'm like, no, you can
No, no.
control.
Yeah.
You can control the movement over here and the acceleration over here, and getting that down is whatever. But she's asked me, because I was playing on the couch the other day, and she was like, bike, and I'm like, all right, fine.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm not like I'm trying to get a fucking world record here, but we'll go with the bike and we'll see what happens.
So there's also a thing in it that I think was probably fun if you have kids, and I'm really looking forward to doing during Lads Week, which is the multiplayer, where we live you can play it multiplayer, and we live just play the challenge against one another, which sounds great because of the fact that like you don't get the repeat attempts. It's just shot for shot.
For shot. I like it a lot. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to do that during Lads Weekend. You know what you should try with your kid is Mario Kart. Go put on Mario Kart 8, and you put on the auto driving. You put on the can't fall off the track. You could even put on the
hold the button, baby.
You could even just put on the turn the thing, because that's what I did with my niece who was 3, and she thought she was doing great.
Right.
Even
Was she
though
almost was she 3.5, almost 4? What's the situation there?
she's 3.5.
Oh, see, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So she couldn't obviously like use the items or anything.
No.
Because it was just like there's just way too much dexterity involved to also do that. And honestly,
going
like
on.
she was mostly just like turning with the thing, like which is why I put the auto acceleration on, because of the thing you said, like she would take her hand off the buttons.
Right.
So I was like, all right, great. Mario Kart 8's great because it'll drive itself. So like,
Well, that's the funny thing is like in her mind, it was like, okay, I push this button, and then to use both hands to do something, to control something on the screen was like too much. Like that was too much.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Man,
Anyway.
another year or so, it won't be though. And then,
No,
you're
no,
gonna
no.
be gaming.
No, I said this from the beginning. I'm never letting this kid win. Like this kid will have to beat me on her own. Like I will never let her win anything. She will have to
when
beat
my
me
niece was
for
here,
real.
I told you, like I was like, no. You don't just get to win in this house.
No, you don't just get to win. You're not just gonna get
her
to
dad,
win.
my brother, and my sister-in-law were like, no, you won. I was like, you didn't win.
You know what? I will take those whines when she whines at me when she didn't win, and I tell her you didn't win, and Britt says, "Why can't you just let her win?" Because I'm not that kind of person. I cannot let you win. I
Yeah.
cannot do
Like
it.
you could
It's
throw a
not
bone
in me.
every now and then, maybe. But
I mean, listen, I'll throw you a bone but look,
yeah.
I'll
but
put
not
it in
every
your face.
time.
No, look, if you're gonna battle me with training wheels, I'm gonna point out the fact that you're using training wheels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you gotta
sorry.
stunt. You gotta stunt on them while they're young. Because
Yeah.
you know what's gonna happen is very quickly she's gonna be a
No,
lot better at video games than you.
yeah, she probably will be. So
And you're gonna have those old man hands, that old man dexterity, and then you're never gonna win again.
But in my mind, that will be an incredible achievement for her. Like it'll mean more for her when she
It's gonna be the
actually
old
beats.
trope of like dad getting beaten basketball, but now it's when you
Yeah.
lose in Mario Kart.
Yeah, if she wants to beat me outright, if she can beat me outright on her own with no help,
Yeah.
then great.
The day your daughter beats you in Super Smash Brothers Final Destination,
Oh
no
my
items.
gosh, could you
that's
imagine?
That's gonna be a humbling day for you.
I will be humbled. Mhm.
You're gonna be like, this game fucking sucks.
Oh, almost certainly. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
That's gonna be great.
Have I played anything? No, I haven't played anything else. But the lads, we are doing a rewatch, or for me, a couple of these movies are first watch.
Yeah.
Of Miyazaki's movies.
Yeah.
We started with. We're not going to talk about it, but we started with the Castle of Cagliostro, and that kicked off a obsession, not obsession, but because I'm not obsessed yet. I probably will be, but a total first time watch of Lupin the Third anime, which has been so far awesome.
Yeah,
loving
it's
it.
really fun.
So I'm watching Lupin, and I highly recommend it. The first season, the first part, is in Japanese on Crunchyroll. Part 2 is dubbed in English. I probably will switch to the dub, and I think it's the longest part. And then there's part 3, part 4, and movies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
The last movie they did was, I thought, really, really awesome. And they did this like really cool, wild style in 3D that like the textures and the way everything everything almost looks like it was almost kind of like made out of like clay and like real materials. It's got a very unique style to it. The lighting was great.
Right.
Big fan of Lupin.
Lupin. That's
So,
pretty much it. It's pretty much
yeah.
all I got. What's going on in Choom's world?
I played more. Thank goodness you're here. Almost done with it.
Where can I play that game?
It's on Switch. Yeah, it's on Switch.
Oh,
yep.
Perfect. Okay.
So you can get that on Switch. You can play that
Beautiful.
there.
Beautiful.
The comedy is really good.
When you say you're done, like you 100%.
I think it's only like a 5-hour game.
Oh,
it's like pretty short. I
right.
actually don't know. It might be longer.
Just making shit up. Taking guesses.
Oh, it's not even. It's a completionist 4-hour game. So there you go. I know I've played around 2 hours, so that makes sense.
It's a completionist 4-hour game.
Yeah, it's a short game. It's a short little romp.
Well, then I hope they're not charging me an arm and a leg for it.
No, it's like $16.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a movie ticket price.
Yeah,
for a game that's as long as a movie to a very long movie, depending on how much you do. Which, hey, by the way, if it's a 4-hour completionist game, you may as well just complete the game.
Yeah.
You're like, well, what do you mean? Why would I? You're like, I always complete the game.
I always try. As soon as I realize that it's going to be a lot long, I'm like, I'm out of this.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just really getting excited for Lads Weekend. We're getting close. It's gonna be next month.
About a month away. Yeah.
Just excited for that. That's gonna be cool. Gaming wise, I feel like we got to get back to Destiny soon. I would like to do the raid.
Ooh.
But I think we need to try and schedule that.
Study it. We have to study it. You got to know what the hell you're doing. We have to. We
It should
need
be
three
easy
other.
to find people though to help at this point
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say
you
we
know,
need three other people.
yeah. But they're gonna be people that have like all the right armor and gear now for
I
it.
think we pretty much have a lot of the right armor and gear.
We got to
We're
figure out
leveled
what the
up.
hell I need to do so that I can have the same build as you. Because I still can't. I still don't have the prismatic lightning for my warlock, which I don't understand
Like
why.
what happened there? Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. We
don't
gotta
know.
look. We gotta look that up.
Yeah, we gotta look that up.
We gotta look that up to see how to get that for you.
Yeah. So we
'Cause I don't
watched.
remember.
Therese and I watched this show on Apple TV Plus called Presumed Innocent. Jake
Okay.
Gyllenhaal. He plays a prosecutor, and it's about a case where someone. I mean, I don't really want to give much away, but basically, like the other prosecutor he's worked with for a long time is like found dead at the beginning. That's the beginning of the show. And so it's like it's very much a court case show. I think it was good.
Oh,
It's a little soap opera-y, I bet.
soap opera.
Yeah, it just some of it just feels a little like it feels a little overextended, and some of the drama feels like a little ridiculous. I think it would have been better if it was like an episode shorter.
How many episodes is it?
It's 8.
Oh, all right.
It felt like some of the pacing was just like a little bit slower than it needed to be. But it was still fun. I mean, if you like those kind of murder shows, you would probably enjoy this.
I'm glad you had a good time.
It's very well reviewed. And then we started The Boys season 4 now. So
okay, I'm interested to hear what you think about that.
Did you watch it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Did you watch Gen V?
No.
Oh, you're supposed to watch that first. It's basically The Boys season 3.5.
Yeah,
because it's like very connected to it. I mean, I'll tell you right now, when I finished Gen V, I was more excited for Gen V season 2 than The Boys season 4. Like as great as that opening episode was, I thought for the first Boys, I was like, kind of wish we were just watching Gen V though. Gen V was really, really, really good. But there were like several things that happened in the first episode that were connected to stuff that happened in Gen V. Because I think The Boys season 4 takes place right after the season of Gen V.
I'll check out V. I'll look into V.
Did you like the 4th season?
No.
Of The Boys? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
No, there were parts that I did like, but there were a lot of parts I did not.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. I really like
you might like it. Don't take my word.
What's her name? The lady that plays like the vice president. I think that character's awesome. So I don't know, I'm hoping it'll be good. But
I'm not going to say anything. So we'll see how you think as the season goes on.
I caught a clip the other day of Big Brother where they were telling that guy that Trump was almost assassinated. And then they were also showing on TikTok this other person where they were like, so Joe Biden dropped out. Man, it must be so like I almost like that as a concept of just like we're gonna lock people away for like a month and then we're just gonna tell them news like what's changed in the world. Like that's almost a show unto itself.
I agree. I love it.
Like I wish they had shown more of that. I'm more interested in watching people react to like the amount of news that's happened over the last month than anything that's going to happen on those shows.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Brother is my like escape from a lot of things. So, you know, it's just the fact that I've been watching it for 20 years is absolutely ridiculous. But same thing with Survivor, actually. We've been watching it for like 20 years.
Oh my God. It's wild. I can't wait. I mean, man, those people that are in Survivor are probably like, you know, they get back to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Like,
you're right. They film over the summer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah. Well, the first season started filming early, so they're probably done at this point.
Okay.
Because I think they start at like the end of May or June because they had clips of the next season when this one ended in May. So they must have started filming. That's right. Yeah, they must have started filming in May, and it's 28 days now, Survivor.
Yeah, what was the reason behind I forget. What did he say? Just production cost?
Well,
Why
they
they
did
shortened
it
it?
for COVID originally, and now, yeah, but now he's like, it's just too long. It's too much time. It's too much money. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Alright.
it's really it is diminished, I think, as a show. I still like it a lot, but
Yeah,
it's
no, it's fine.
the challenge of being somewhere for,
Right,
you know,
right. That piece
or
of it.
yeah, the extra like 13. Oh, wait, it's 26 days. It used to be 39. So the fact that it's almost a full 2 weeks shorter, like
Mhm.
it used to be 6 weeks basically, and now it's under 4 weeks. Like that's a really big difference in time to have to stay on that island.
Yep.
Um,
No, I agree.
so which is like, look, I don't need people to be like emaciated and like falling apart by the end of the show, but the way that it messed with people's minds and allowed the game to like make people made more mistakes, which made more opportunities for people. Whereas now, since everything's so truncated, you know, they have to constantly be like, I got to make a move like from day one. It's
Right.
like, all right, okay.
Yeah, the making a move day one is getting a little old.
Yeah, and then people don't have time to like foster real relationships and stuff, and it's just
Right. Yep.
it's. I think they went to they need to split the difference. I think I just get it up another week. Just go another 5 days, even go another
Mhm.
5 days. I mean, we've talked about this. No one. All right, so we got a little bit short of a podcast today because we were gonna do this with Tom yesterday. We also watched The Wizard last week. Tom has his punishment. Got to start thinking of a new punishment for Tom for the next time he loses. Because we're doing NES World Championships again. But his flight was delayed yesterday, so he could not make it back in time. So we waited for today, and then it didn't happen. So I'm gonna pull up some questions for the pod. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. You can email us questions to email@unrankedpodcast.com, or you give us a call to 805-738-8692. Or you can go to our Discord. Links in the show notes. You can go to questions for the pod in the Discord and can ask questions, just like Spiffy did, where Spiffy said, when you try out a new game that has a wide variety of characters to choose from, what is the main factor you use to decide on who to main? Who do you go for their look and aesthetics, or their play style, or something else? That's a great question.
Ooh, that is a very good question. Yeah, so like for instance, like Borderlands, like who did I pick and why? I picked Borderlands because I thought the idea of having a hawk that could with Borderlands 1. I thought the idea of
Mordecai,
throwing out
was that his name?
yeah, Mordecai. I thought the idea of having a hawk you could throw out that would like do stuff was really, really cool. I I almost never pick like the brawler class, even though I really should, because that's what I do a lot of, is I just run in and try to kill things. Aesthetically, yeah, there's definitely been times where I've been looking at a character and been like, oh, this character looks cool, or like what they're wearing looks cool. But you know, most of the time I pick characters that have like a ranged attack, or if they have magic or powers, I try to go for that.
Yeah.
Christian always picks the women.
That's not necessarily true, but I did start doing that at one point because you were like, why do you always pick the girl back in the day? So then I would just do it so that every time I would do it, you'd immediately be like, why do you always pick the girl? For that same reason. But also because since you guys didn't ever pick the girl character, it's like, all right, cool. At least I'm not going to be doubled up like everyone else. Was another thing.
True.
You know, but then there was also
Mhm.
like, oh, well, I played as Samus. So it's like, all right, keep that
Mhm.
going.
Sure.
But like you picked Mordecai, right? In Borderlands. And I'm like, how are you not picking the Siren? How are you not picking the fucking sorceress who
I
can
just
like
thought
teleport and turn invisible and like blast people? Like you're like, oh, well, I wanted the guy with the pet. I'm like, I'm a wizard.
you're a wizard, Harry. I just thought, I don't know. I just thought like throwing out a freaking hawk. I think I probably looked at a video or two before, and I
Yeah.
thought the hawk, throwing out a hawk was like awesome.
I mean, it's cool, but to me, I always felt like with the hawk, I was like, you're not doing it. I was like, so you're just setting a thing out that's killing people for you. Where I was like, I'm a space witch. right? Like I'm turning invisible, I'm zooming
Mhm.
around, I'm teleporting, I can put
Yeah.
shields up. Like that
Yeah.
shit was like, I don't know how you don't pick that character.
Oh
But
my gosh.
I think the question about like aesthetics though is true, because I will like at first glance I will look at them and I'll be like, yes, that's who I like. I see the dude, I don't know what they're doing, I want to play as that character. And then it sucks when the character who you like their design of doesn't
Yeah.
play like
Yeah.
the way you want, and then the character who maybe plays the way you want does not
Yep.
look like a character that you want to play
No.
as.
No.
Which I think Borderlands 2, when Zero came out
Mm-hmm.
and he was the assassin, and I was like, oh, I know who I'm playing at this time. And I was like, I'm playing as the assassin guy, right? I was
Mhm.
like, I'm not gonna play
Mhm.
as the siren this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing it and I was like, it's like, this isn't really actually what I want. This isn't the character I really want to play as, which was kind of a bummer.
It's happened. The fuck? There's like a little tiny gnat. It's happened to me a couple times where
Yeah.
you have picked a character and we've progressed through the story in a co-op game where I've been like, ugh, kind of wish I picked that character.
Yeah.
Kind of wish I picked that one. Like this sounds great. Like that, like I feel like he's doing a lot more than me. He's doing a
Yep.
lot more fun things than I am.
I
So,
actually felt that way about Destiny, where I actually always thought the Titans looked the coolest because they look like Iron Man, you know, like they have the coolest armor sets and everything, but the
mhm.
Warlocks play the best. The Warlocks, I think, are the coolest. Like they have the best gameplay. I mean, again, it's, you know, I'm using space magic, so like I play as the Warlock primarily, but it's like I think a lot of their armor is not my favorite. They just have a lot of like horns and a lot of stuff that's like really ornate, a lot of like gothic inspired design that is just not my favorite kind of aesthetic. That's actually like my least favorite. I like more like sleek, clean kind of designs. And the Warlocks are not. They're very much the opposite of that in general. You know, it's like they have everything is robes too with the Warlocks, which like I don't really like the
Yeah.
robes.
Yeah. I'm not really. I was trying to think. Like if there's a necromancer or someone that controls other things, I'm in on that.
Sure.
But in reality, I really should be going for the brute, big brawlers with like the sword just to go in and hack shit, because that's what I usually just end up doing anyway. So that's what I really should go
Yeah,
for. But
those
I
are
find
not
them so.
my style.
But that's what I'm gonna say. That I find them so aesthetically displeasing that I never
Sure.
pick those characters.
Sure. Yeah,
Like
I
I want to be
always want to go
cool. I
for
want
the
to be.
sleeker
I want to
looking
be.
character.
Yeah, I want to be shooting out fucking
Yep.
lasers. I want to be like shooting lightning out of my hands. Like
I
you
mean,
know, if
that's
I'm
what
gonna be.
attracted me to Samus was like, I'm like, oh, this character's like tall, but like
Mhm.
slender. And I have like,
Mhm.
I'm shooting like a blaster, like cool colors. So like, that was why like I liked Metroid when I was younger. And when Smash started, I was like, I'm going to play as Samus, even though Samus was like not a good character to play as, especially in early Smash Brothers. It was always like a low tier list character.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know, Samus looked cooler than Mario.
Oh well, it's not that hard to look cooler than Mario.
I know it's not. It's really
Mario,
not.
Mario's kind of lame.
Yeah. And we say that as Italians.
Yeah, yeah. It's a me. I can't do much.
Yeah, that's a great. It really,
Good
it's
question.
definitely it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, a little bit of column C.
A little bit of column A, a little bit, yeah.
You know, there
Sure.
was a character in Borderlands that I really liked, but I think I hated the like voice work for it, and so I found it really obnoxious. And I can't remember who it was, but it made me not want to play as them for that reason. I think, let me see. It's Mario Kart, by the way. Similar thing. Like I generally like to play as the medium or
Right.
or like light medium characters. But some of my favorite characters are somehow heavier, which I always find annoying. Or I prefer to play as like medium and then they're a light character, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to use them because they're light.
Right.
Like I really like dry bones. I really like the paratroopa and stuff like that. And like they aren't the right weight class necessarily that I want.
Right.
The fucking cars, I hate like picking an ugly car in that game for its stats. But I end up doing it. Like if I'm playing against someone that's like good, I'm like, well, now I have to pick the car that I don't like in Mario Kart
Right.
because it has a better build.
I agree. There's been
Even
times where
though,
I
yeah,
pick a stupid car because it's just the best car,
yep.
but it's not the car I actually want to drive.
It's like I always wanted to play as Yoshi. They finally solved that by giving us 100 colors for Yoshi to pick from,
Right.
you know. But like
Mhm.
we would always fight over who got to Yoshi. Like the character select screen was on. It was a race to pick Yoshi first, basically, back in the day, which is
Yeah.
not the thing anymore.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So it was Gage. Gage had a really cool character in Borderlands that you could play as, but she had her voice work was like really obnoxious. And so I
Oh,
hated, and like every time you popped the super, she would,
yeah.
you know, do like her
Right.
voice calls would come out, and it was not
Yes.
annoying.
Yes.
Epic Neckbeard asks, what are your favorite and least favorite Spindrift flavors?
My favorite was probably the fruit punch. Least favorite, probably the lime. No, grapefruit.
Yeah,
Grapefruit.
you're not a
Grapefruit.
grapefruit guy.
I hate grapefruit. I don't understand how anybody would want to drink grapefruit. I don't even understand, like, ever. Like
They
when it's
have a lot
always
of flavors now.
no, but just grapefruit in general. I just don't understand. Like you go to like a lot of breakfast buffets. Like when you go to
Yeah.
a hotel, it's always like, here's orange juice and then grapefruit juice. Like what the who the hell is eating this? Like
It's all three strengths is the Spindrift grapefruit.
I don't understand it. Like grapefruit
Yeah,
is disgusting. Am I
I
just
don't like it
not
at all.
okay? Like I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
My
get it.
top three, Island Punch is up there.
Yeah.
Lemon is my number one, followed by probably Island Punch, and then
Mm.
maybe the Blood Orange Tangerine or the Lemon Limeade, which is like half lemon, half lime. I think those are
Oh.
my top three. My
Mm-hmm.
bottom three, uh, yeah, grapefruit because I just don't like grapefruit. Okay, they have a mango orange that I don't like at all, which
Whoa.
I don't know, like you don't really see it that much anymore. It's kind of been replaced with the blood orange tangerine.
Mm-hmm.
But they do still, I think, technically have it around. Unlike the blood orange tangerine, it's not sweet. I found it to be really bitter because they don't use enough of the juice, and so it almost tastes like the rind part of the orange. And I found it to be like really bitter.
Well, that's gross.
So I don't like the mango orange.
Yeah.
And I also don't like raspberry lime because I don't like raspberry. I just don't like the flavor of
Mm-hmm.
real, like raspberry and candy is good, but I think
Yeah.
regular raspberries I just find them too tart.
Sure.
And so that was the issue there. I didn't like that at all either. So those are my bottom three.
All right, there it is. Bottom three.
And like Mike said, favorite and least favorite Olympic event. They have speed climbing, and it's totally awesome. I mean, speed climbing was
Speed climbing is
amazing.
yeah, no, it's really cool. My favorite Olympic sport to watch is honestly gymnastics.
Yeah,
Take it for
gymnastics
what
is
it's worth.
great.
I just really love gymnastics. Least favorite, it was going to be to watch. It was going to be the walk race, which is absolutely ridiculous. But now it's breakdancing.
Man, what a disappointment that turned out to be. I thought
What a
breakdancing,
joke.
sorry, it's called
What?
breaking. I thought it was going to
Oh,
be
I'm
amazing.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I was listening to Star Talk, right?
Mhm.
And they had like a guy on who they were talking about like the new sports at the Olympics and like the physics that go into them. And they were saying like what we see when it comes to breakdancing is going to blow our minds. He was like, because what people think
What?
about with breakdancing that used to be the breakdancing culture, he was like, it's evolved so much since then. He was
Yeah.
like, and you're going to see people do stuff you've never seen before. And I mean, this person might be plugged into that culture and know that's true, but the people that went to the Olympics to do that
Yeah.
are not doing, like, it has been lame to
I mean,
watch.
I saw a couple bids. Pretty lame.
Yeah.
Pretty lame.
Yeah, I've found it incredibly lame to watch.
A lot of the stuff I
I
like
thought it
though,
was going to
like
be
this.
cool.
Yeah, no, me too. Love cycling. I love a lot of the sports. Like I really love to watch a lot of the sports, especially when I don't watch I don't watch these sports all the time. So what is this? Okay. Um you know, like water polo. I like to watch water polo, but I'm not
Sure.
going to watch it every goddamn weekend. You know,
Sure.
I like to watch it every 4 years. It's a good time.
This year I would say my top 3 so far have been the women's rugby was fucking great. Women's
Okay.
rugby was so awesome.
Yeah.
The speed climbing and the
Speed climbing
gymnastics.
is very cool. Yeah.
Those have been my 3 that I've enjoyed watching the most. The speed climbing,
Mhm.
so I read into it a little bit.
Right into it.
They
What'd you read?
use a set path. So this path, the climbing
Yeah.
wall path, was set
Mhm.
in like 2000, and it's never going to change apparently. Which I think is, I can't decide if I like that. I
Oh.
almost feel like there should be 3 different classes of it then, and like maybe what they need to do is have like several lengths. Maybe that, you know, like the 100-meter climb.
Wait, so
and
this
like,
this just sounds like Nintendo World Championships.
but that is the thing I was thinking. Well, I was like, oh, this is just speed running.
Yeah. I guess at the same time, like someone could argue, well, the 100-meter dash is the same dash every single time.
Exactly. So I think they just need to have more versions of it then, right?
Yeah,
Like
no,
to give us,
I like it.
because
Sure.
if people are doing it under 5 seconds now, it's like those times we're going to be shaving hundredths of a second off, like we're talking about NES World Championships. And we're going to reach a point
Mhm.
where it's like it's still very cool to watch, but I think they should introduce, like, you know, they should have an up down. They should have one that's shaped like a U, like an upside down U, right? Where you have to go all the way up and around and down, and like you still have to hit the top thing, so that like you can't just stay on the inside. So you have to like get up to the top, and people will find like new paths through it, probably like by like trying to like jump through areas and stuff. They should introduce more climbing walls, I think, to enhance it. I'm sure that that's like there's a logistics part of that, because to be
There
able
probably
to
is.
move in space. But
Yeah.
I think something to keep it somewhat fresh, or to at least like really just differentiate. Because I think if it's just the same like under 5 second climb, that could be a little bit limiting, I think, overall to the sport.
I agree.
I mean, it's fascinating to watch, but
No, but you can. I like what you said. The different variations. You've got the standard, the
Yeah.
changing, and the, I don't know, maybe the moving. Maybe it moves.
yeah. So that's tough though, because then I bet there's an element of like getting it to always precisely move the exact same speed, the exact same time every time. So yeah, like you can't do that probably.
No.
So that's what, like, I think the up down is, because I bet coming down is like a really difficult thing to do quickly.
Yeah.
Or
That's
maybe
good.
like an up across, like,
Up
you know,
across.
like,
But now we're almost in American Ninja Warrior territory, which I heard they're trying to get that in.
I mean, yeah,
Parkour.
do it. Do it.
Some parkour.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, no, me too. I'd watch it.
And you know, I've been saying it last year. I'll say it again this year. Dodgeball.
Yeah, dodgeball's fine.
Absolutely
good.
get dodgeball. Get
Yeah.
dodgeball. People would watch the fuck out of Olympic dodgeball.
100%.
And it
I'd
feels
watch it.
thematically very like, you know, with sports, you know, as being a substitute for war, like dodgeball feels like such a good kind of sport for the Olympics, I think. It would be really fucking cool to get dodgeball in the Olympics.
I like it.
Yeah.
Get it done.
All right. Well, I think time to wrap this show up for this week. We've got a packed show for next week, because Tom's got
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Tom's got his Wizard, which, by the way, rewatched it. Thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
I watched it. Great movie. Great movie.
Which is, I'm glad we're not like reviewing it. Tom's just doing a presentation. So if you haven't watched
I'd rather
it,
not.
go rent
I'd rather
it.
not review it.
Yeah, no, just go rent it. It's a fun romp back in the 80s. Until next time, everybody. Hope you're staying cool out there this hot summer. I want you to stay unranked.
Suck it.